So how much was the bonus pool last year then?
Okay, well, we saw a very abrupt and sharp change of fortunes for Wall Street. And it's a clear sign of the slowdown, actually, that Wall Street is grappling with. Because just last year, the same data set showed that bonuses were at a record high, with Wall Street locked in this really vicious bidding war for talent. So it's pretty bad news for bankers, for whom bonuses are often, multiple times their annual salaries, that they're seeing their bonuses decline by the most since the financial crisis.
Is there any sign of things improving or expecting things to really get worse from here?
Well, I don't think we expect deals to pick up particularly because we still have all of this uncertainty created by the potential for a looming recession. And I think the regional banking crisis has just exacerbated that. And we may even see banks, start to pull back on doing things like lending and providing credit, and how this all feeds into the investment banking sector and their operations in general kind of remains to be seen, really. One interesting point, though, is that from the data that was released today, we saw that hiring was actually up, and in fact, at a two-decade high in the securities industry. So even though banks are bankers are taking a hit toward their bonuses, banks are still trying to hire, and they still have to beef up their technology, their compliance, their risk staff, and therefore to pay for that, they're probably having to pull this other lever, which is cutting bonuses and compensation.
And a lot of these bankers have also been told to return to the office. So can we expect the satisfaction rate to actually drop among employees?
This is the time of year where you see the most frenetic activity in terms of bankers leaving. And we could probably expect to see a lot of movement. Hedge funds, they're coming in and poaching a lot of the talent. So I think bankers have already generally been back to work and back in the office for sort of multiple days a week. In some cases, in businesses like trading, probably 4 to 5 days a week. So that kind of element of grind has sort of been well established for a long time. But given that bonuses have taken such a big hit, it is possibly the time where they reassess and see if there are better offers elsewhere.